Tonight on CitrusTV News, an exclusive interview with a student from Somalia.
And new announcements President Obama made today.
Snow flurries began around 1 a.m. this morning, and as you can see, the snow is still coming down. CitrusTV News starts right now.
From the CitrusTV studios, this is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to CitrusTV News. I'm Johnny Oliver.
And I'm Brooke Glatz. It's still snowing outside, but it looks like most of the lake effect snow has passed, and that's our top story.
Central New York usually gets hit hard from lake effect snow, but this time CNY was able to escape the worst. Forecasts predicted the possibility of a foot or more of snow, but most places have seen only 1 or 2 inches.
Meteorologists say the moving snow bands worked in our favor by not staying in one place for too long, instead giving a little bit of snow over a larger area. Central New York may have lucked out this time, but it could be hit with a new round of lake effect snow next week. Rebecca Castor will have more on that coming up. One Syracuse University student has a unique story to share. CitrusTV News reporter Claudia Bellafato spoke with a Somalian refugee and found out how she has made a difference here in Central New York.
But women empowerment doesn't end with an...
Imagine living in absolute poverty, with no real shelter, no food, and the only source of water miles away. For these smiling faces, that is exactly what they suffered through, some for many years.
My name is Khadija Abdul Qadir. My parents is from Somalia. I was born in Kenya.
And now she lives here in Syracuse. Khadija is a junior international relations major at Syracuse University. She says that she wakes up grateful every day for the life she is given here. She says to think about the life she had in the Somalian refugee camp is hard, but it was her reality, a reality she had to face for 15 years. Living in a refugee camp, she says, takes away the life of girls in particular. She says that aside from lack of everyday resources or health care, girls are expected to get married and have children as young as the age of 14. Khadija says that those expectations must change. That is where she got the idea to start a women's empowerment group. Every Sunday, she meets with a group of women refugees in Syracuse. I visited one of these meetings, and there I saw girls as young as 10 years old learning about how to reach their full potential in life.
I had experience and I have gone through so much in life, and I just want to make sure that everyone else who have to go through the same or have to follow the same steps that I did.
But even with everything that Khadija has accomplished up to this point, she says she's not stopping here. She plans on applying to Harvard, where she will continue to study international relations. And one day, she says, hopefully go back to Somalia so she can give back to the place she came from. Claudia Bellafato, CitrusTV News.
Former Newhouse Dean David Rubin has retired. Rubin worked as dean for 18 years, and the Newhouse Career and Development Center was named after him and his wife. The school compiled a tribute video with notable alumni, including Mike Tirico, Bob Costas, and Marv Albert. Rubin taught his last class on Wednesday.
The Hallmark store in Destiny Mall is set to close at the end of January. Hallmark is one of the 24 businesses left that opened when the mall did in 1990. Many Hallmark stores have closed this year, but it is unclear if this closure is part of the nationwide closure of stores. 3 Hallmarks remain open in Central New York. And the state is awarding $62.2 million to 77 developmental projects in Central New York. Thanks to Governor Cuomo's Economic Development Council initiative, local projects will receive grants to continue work. Stary Pharma will receive the largest grant of $3 million to expand its operations of making antibiotics to treat bacterial infections. Other groups receiving money are Lemoyne College, Beek Skiff, and Crouse Health Hospital. And coming up, the show Donald Trump will still remain involved with.
And celebrations in South Korea. We'll tell you more when we come back.
A snowy day here in Syracuse and a snowy week ahead of us. Snow flurries began about 1 a.m. this morning and have continued throughout the day and will continue into the night and into tomorrow. Find out how this snowy week will affect your winter travel plans by staying tuned for my full weather forecast coming up.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Obama used his executive powers to protect the waters off Alaska's west coast today. The White House announced the creation of a northern Bering Sea's climate resilience area that will protect marine resources.
Residents of the area have been fighting for protection as the area is continuously affected by climate change and offshore drilling. The White House also ordered the establishment of a local task force to make sure that there is cultural protection.
President Obama made a request Friday for intelligence officials to review the hacking allegations during the 2016 election cycle. Russia has been accused of the breach, which Democrats claim helped benefit Donald Trump's campaign.
Emails from Democratic officials and the Clinton aide were widely shared on the website WikiLeaks. Senate Intelligence Committee members have continued to pressure the president to declassify the information about what involvement Russia may have had in the hack.
Rudy Giuliani will no longer be running for Secretary of State. President-elect Donald Trump said today that Giuliani will take himself out of consideration for the position.
The transition team released a statement saying that Giuliani took himself out of consideration last month, and Trump said he would always be appreciative of the dedication to his campaign.
And Trump will remain an executive producer of NBC's The New Celebrity Apprentice. Trump was the former host of the show, but the show went off the air when he announced his presidential bid.
Some are raising conflict of interest concerns since the show airs on NBC. According to MGM, they will not be the ones paying Trump, and it will be the network. They will be the ones paying Trump and not the network. Trump's campaign manager Kellyanne Conway defended his decision, saying Trump is free to do presidents are free to do what they want in their free time.
And Trump is receiving pressure to not follow through on his pledges of mass deportation. Large employers fear this would hurt the economy. The pressure is led by an advocacy group backed by Michael Bloomberg.
But other groups like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce are doubtful that Trump could actually follow through with that mass deportation. Trump suggested before the election that he would expel 11 million immigrants from the country.
Florida is officially clear of Zika for the first time since July. Governor Rick Scott announced Friday that the South Beach area no longer has any local transmission of Zika.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said it would be lifting the red area designation for South Beach. However, the Miami-Dade County is still in a cautionary yellow area due to past transmissions. Florida's announcement is a sign of progress in the country's fight against this year's Zika epidemic.
The St. Louis County jury has convicted a man of shooting 2 police officers in a Ferguson protest last year. The jury deliberated for 2 hours on Thursday night before finding Jeffrey Williams guilty.
The sentencing is in January. Williams' attorney says that an appeal is in the process of being planned. Williams was found guilty of 2 counts of assault, 3 counts of armed criminal action, and 1 count of shooting from a vehicle.
Dylan Roof's lawyers hope to present evidence about his state of mind to the federal judge. The motion was filed on Friday. It indicates that the lawyers want to include evidence that may convince jurors not to seek the death penalty.
U.S. Judge Richard Gergel said he would study the issue on a case-by-case basis. Roof's lawyers have not contested that the June 2015 shooting was a racially motivated attack.
The Great Smoky Mountains National Park in the town of Gatlinburg has reopened following extreme wildfires. The fires caused 14 deaths and damage to over 2,500 buildings.
Officials hope that people will return to the main tourist area following the reopening. Prosecutors have charged the 2 suspects of starting fires within the park.
A new report on Russian doping evidence found an institutional conspiracy that included more than 1,000 athletes. The World Anti-Doping Agency said the conspiracy involved organizations such as the Russian Sports Ministry and the FSB Intelligence Service.
The conclusions were based on forensic evidence, including DNA analysis. The findings confirmed other information contained from the first report in July.
South Korean lawmakers have voted to impeach President Park Geun-hye over a corruption scandal. Today, millions of demonstrators went to the streets demanding she step down. Park was accused of colluding with a confidant who extorted companies and manipulated state affairs.
The South Korean Prime Minister will assume leadership of the country until the Constitutional Court rules on whether or not to officially remove the president. Many business owners are celebrating today, including one hotel who is offering free rooms.
Well, Brooke, it's been snowing all day today here in Syracuse, but it could be worse because some parts of western and central New York received more than a foot of snow.
It's ridiculous. Rebecca Castor is here to tell us how much more of this lake effect snow we'll be receiving. Rebecca?
Thanks, Johnny and Brooke. Yes, most of this lake effect snow has already passed us, but we are still in a lake effect snow advisory until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. A foot of snow is forecasted to come our way, but so far we've only seen about 1 to 2 inches, and about 2 to 4 inches could still come our way tonight. Saturday, more lake effect snow is in the forecast. Heavy snowfall is predicted to fall along the thruway, so if you're planning on being on the roads tomorrow, you're definitely going to want to be careful because it's going to be wet and it's going to be icy. And then Sunday, we're going to have another snowstorm come our way. This won't be lake effect snow, so this type of snow is going to be fluffier, it's going to be heavier than the wet snow that we're seeing today and tomorrow. And this snowstorm is going to bring about 4 to 8 inches of snow, so it's definitely going to be a snowy weekend. Taking a look across central New York, temperatures are in the mid to low 20s, and we see snow is already falling in Rochester, Penn Yan, Syracuse, and in Rome. Taking a closer look at Syracuse, right now we're at 25 degrees, and it feels more like 15 degrees because of these 10-mile-per-hour winds and the snow that's coming down outside. And if we take a look at our Doppler radar, we'll see this lake effect snow that could come our way tonight. All that dark purple you see right in Syracuse, that's that lake effect snow that we can continue to get later this evening and into tomorrow. So how will this affect game day? Tip-off is at noon, and you can expect temperatures at about 29 degrees and definitely going to have some snow flurries. And with 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, you're going to want to bundle up, get that winter jacket out before you head into the dome. So many students are heading off campus this week and next weekend for the upcoming holidays. The Syracuse airport has already said that with all the snow that we're going to see this week and next weekend, you will expect some delays with your travel plans, with also some snowstorms in Denver and Chicago. If you're flying in to those areas, expect some delays as well. So next week, we're going to see some pretty low temperatures here in Syracuse. We're going to be down in the teens for most of next week, even getting down to 10 degrees next Thursday. So that's Pretty cold from what we saw last December here in Syracuse. This is taking a look at average December temperatures. Last year, December 2015, was unusually warm for Syracuse. The average temperature was 41 degrees, and that's different from what we saw in 2013 at 32 and December 2014 at 36. And this year, we're predicting 30-degree average temperature, but with those low temperatures we're going to see next week, I believe that average temperature is going to go down. So taking a look at our 5-day forecast, high of 29 degrees tomorrow with 50% chance of snow. Sunday as well, 40% chance of snow and a high of 32 degrees. Monday, more snow, 60% chance with a high of 37. And Tuesday, we see a break in the snow showers with a high of 36 degrees and partly cloudy skies. But Wednesday, that snow is back, 40% chance of snow with a high of 30 degrees.
All right, Rebecca, I know you said that it was going to keep snowing throughout the weekend, but is there any chance that it'll let up a little bit tonight?
I don't believe it's going to let up tonight, you guys. I think the snow flurries are going to continue to come down all throughout the night and even into tomorrow morning and afternoon.
Oh, we'll have to bring our snow jackets out tonight.
Thank you, Rebecca. Well, up next, NASA has updates on new stars in space.
And how November temperatures rank. More when Citrus TV News returns.
Got a quarter?
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Coca-Cola CEO Mukhtar Kent is stepping down. He will be replaced by current CEO James Quincy. The transition will be made next May, and Kent will stay on as chairman of the board. Kent has been CEO for about 7 years, while Quincy has been with the company for about 20 years. And alt-right supporters of Donald Trump are boycotting the new Star Wars movie. The hashtag #DumpStarWars is trending on Twitter after a director of advocacy group called Citizens of Trump claimed parts of the movie were reshot to contain anti-Trump messages. Boycotters are sharing a photoshopped fake news report claiming that the writers of the Rogue One film called Trump a Nazi. Makers of the film confirmed that Rogue One underwent some reshoots, but called the anti-Trump allegations lies. And the ongoing trend of rising life expectancy in the U.S. could be coming to an end. The estimated life expectancy dropped in 2015 and is not expected to rise this year. Most years since World War II have seen a rise in life expectancy, aside from years with a major disease outbreak. Many health experts aren't sure what is causing the decline, but health officials at the University of Illinois say obesity may be a factor.
And self-driving cars can now be tested on Michigan roads. The bill was signed into law today and could make the state the leader in vehicle development. Now in Michigan, companies can sell self-driving cars to the public as long as they are tested and certified. Automakers can also run self-driving taxi services and test self-driving tractor trailers as long as someone is in each truck. The bill has allowed this without regulation so the industry can move forward with the technology. And a galaxy 12.7 billion light years away is exploding with stars, and now we can see it. NASA has released images of the galaxy, which they call a hyper-starburst galaxy. It produces around 4,500 suns each year, which in comparison, our galaxy only produces one. The reason it's producing so much so quickly is because, unlike most galaxies, it does not have a massive black hole swallowing its contents. The U.S. saw its warmest fall on record. That's according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The average fall temperature was 57 degrees, which is 4 degrees above average. It was also the second warmest November ever. The average November temperature in the continental U.S. was more than 6 degrees above average this year, and the November rainfall total was half an inch below average.
Coming up in sports, a basketball doubleheader in the Dome this weekend, and Syracuse men's soccer player takes home some hardware. All that and more after this.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hi, I'm Marco Sochi. SU men's basketball finds itself in a bit of a rut. They've lost 3 of 4 and scored 60 points or less in those losses. Tomorrow, they look to rebound from their offensive woes when they take on Boston University in the Carrier Dome. The Terriers are in the midst of their own slump. They've lost 4 straight. That means something's got to give tomorrow in the Dome. And the good news for the Orange is that SU is undefeated this season inside the Loud House. Head coach Jim Boeheim, though, isn't interested in home field advantage. He and the team know it's the offense that must get better.
I think that what we need to think about is our offense. We've got to get better there. If we don't, we're going to struggle every game. You got to score points. 50 points isn't going to get it done.
Just moving the ball, and we're not really recognizing what's going on out there. I think we're kind of getting a little stumped, and that's something that shouldn't happen because we do it fine in practice, and I think we do a decent job preparing, or a good job preparing for games, and we got out there, we just didn't play like ourselves, and I mean that's what the result's going to be.
Right at this moment, I don't really have a list of things. I think just gotta sit down and watch the tape, and just definitely we don't have enough movement. I didn't get guys involved today.
Syracuse and BU is set for noon tomorrow. After the men's game, the SU women host Niagara in the Dome. The 20th ranked Orange is looking for win number 4 in a row. Syracuse looks to continue its Dome domination. The team is a perfect 5-0 at home and has won each of those games by double digits. A win for Coach Q and the women tomorrow would bring the head coach to within 3 wins of becoming the all-time winningest coach in Syracuse women's basketball history. Tomorrow's clash with Niagara is the team's final non-conference home game of the season. The SU women's ice hockey team starts a weekend series with Clarkson tonight at 7 before heading to Potsdam for the second game tomorrow. Syracuse looks to build on last weekend's series against conference rival RIT, in which they scored 5 goals and took home 3 of the 4 points up for grabs in the 2 games. The Orange sits at 5-7-4 headed into tonight's matchup with the Golden Knights. Syracuse men's soccer defenseman Miles Robinson has been named an All-American. CitrusTV's own Christian de Guzman broke the news earlier today on Twitter. The National Soccer Coaches Association of America named the Syracuse sophomore to the first team. Robinson is the first Syracuse player to earn such honor since goalkeeper Alex Bono did in 2014. The Massachusetts native was part of a Syracuse defense that held 10 clean sheets this season. Robinson has also been named to the ACC first team and won ACC Defensive Player of the Year honors. 2 of the NHL's best go at it tonight as the Rangers travel to Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. New York leads the league in goals per game, averaging 3.5, but the Blue Shirts have slowed down a little. The Rangers have scored more than 3 goals just once in their last 8 games. Things won't be any easier tonight as Chicago boasts a top 10 defense. Puck drops at 8:30. And the Rangers' roommates are out west tonight as the Knicks take on the Kings. Last time out, New York had its 4-game win streak snapped by the defending champion Cavs in a 32-point home loss. Things should be a little easier tonight, though, as Sacramento has won just once in its last 4.
Marco, are you happy so far with how the Knicks have been playing this year?
I mean, if you're a Knicks fan, you certainly have to be happy. They're 12-10, and there's a lot of youth there, a lot of encouraging signs. This is a team that has been a perennial loser, so they're definitely headed in the right direction. If you're a Knicks fan, you have to be ecstatic.
All right, thank you, Marco.
Thanks.
And coming up, we'll have one last look at the weather.
Citrus TV News will be right back.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
All right, Rebecca, so tomorrow, what kind of weather can we wake up and expect?
Yep, tomorrow morning there will be snow flurries. You can expect temperatures at about 20 degrees tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Rebecca.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. Coming up tonight on the Orange Television Network, Q's Countdown previews the upcoming SU football game.
Then check out Syracuse Unpeeled at 7 p.m. and Q's Countdown again at 7:30, all on channel 14.1.
And that's all for Citrus TV News this evening. Thank you for tuning in. And really quick, us, Brooke, Rebecca and I, we wanted to thank you so much, Lauren Anderson. She's been a wonderful EP all semester.
We've had such a great time, and we hope that we'll see you again next semester for a lot of our last semesters here, Johnny, Lauren's, and mine. So thanks for tuning in. My name is Brooke Glatz.
And I'm Johnny Oliver. Have a great night, Syracuse.